Game ends up going the distance here simply because... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to what might potentially be the last game here at the Go4 SC2 Sunday Final, spawning on Catalina at the 9 o'clock spawning location. He's playing as the Red Zerg player and is currently 2-0 up in this best of 5. Playing for Imaginary Gaming, he's shown great form today. It's Targa. Can he clean sweep the finals against an extremely talented Zerg playing in the green colors in the 5 o'clock position? This guy plays for Team Dignitas and is just a very strong overall play. He's done a great job getting to the final, but he appears to have so far come up against a brick wall in the form of Targa. What's he going to do here in game number 3? It's Tefel. And man, Tefel, Turek, Violet, Hyun, all these guys I remember constantly in these online cups. It's good to see some of them here. Good memories of ZvZ finals, but I have to say so far Tefel seems like he's just slightly outclassed by Targa, at least in game number 2. Game number 1 was a little bit back and forth until Targa got the long-term advantages of those upgrades on the roaches. Game number 2, I mean, wow, Targa's aggression was just too much to handle. So he's won 2 games 2 different ways right now, and we will see what Tefel can come up with here. Just going to be going for the pool, and then by the looks of things, just that hatch, so nothing too out of the ordinary. Tefel isn't going into panic stations. We don't see early pools from anyone at the moment. No crazy early pool spine crawler rushes. God, I miss the days when those were deadly. So much fun. So much fun to cast, even if they were less fun perhaps as a player. So the pool going down as well. Now for Targa, we see the extractor finishing up very early indeed. So he will have the potential for a pretty quick speed, by the way, and more banelings early on. I mean, it won him the game in game 2, so why not give it another go in game 3? That's definitely not out of the question here. Tefel, in the meantime, only now finishing his gas. So we'll be keeping an eye on if and when a baneling nest decides to start for Targa, and when that speed begins as well. He's already up to 80 gas, so it shouldn't be too long now. Double Queen now being produced. The Overlord's getting in position. You can see Targa immediately following the Overlord of Tefel. He just wants to know what Tefel's vision is. So as soon as he spots an Overlord, he just follows it. Nice and simple here. And there is the speed. And there are 3 workers still in gas. And if Targa is being Targa, then we should see very shortly a baneling nest get dropped. So we'll be keeping an eye there. In the meantime, it looks like Tefel's still some way off getting that initial speed. So maybe Targa will be able to get some early game damage done here. We've got a couple of lings already just kind of sneaking into the natural to see what is up. We'll spot that drones have actually been transferred already, and both sides have started their baneling nests, so it looks like we're going to see another explosive game. Now, can Tefel turn it around? Targa, he's played so many Zergling Baneling games today. He's played a lot of ZvZs, guys. And he's been great, to be honest, all day. And I think Tefel knows this. He's played against Targa often enough to know that he's good at it. So the fact that he's still making this Baneling nest and saying, actually, I'm just going to still defend against this, to me, that tells me that Tefel said, yeah, Targa, I know you're good, but, you know, I'm also good. And the results have gone your way, but I should be able to defend against this. So I like that he's still confident. It means we're probably going to get just a really good game here. And Tefel's actually going to be following this up with a Roach Warren as well, getting those early Roaches to mitigate any potential early game damage. If Tefel defends the first wave and gets some Roaches out, hey, I'll tell you what, Targa's follow-up Banelings just aren't going to do nearly as much damage. So that's going to be his plan here. Here comes Targa's Lings, and the first couple of Banelings coming out now as well. Trying to go straight into the middle line. Wow, that's 4 explosions at once, and there are 6 lings here remaining, but 2 queens. Generally speaking, that's fine, and 4 roaches already on the way for Dignitas Tefel. So this is his method to try and stop Targa. from doing anything else in this particular series. He needs to hold on for just a little while longer, though. The first of 6 roaches are now popping out. Oh, he needs to split those drones, and a couple of them going down there. Total of 9 workers killed so far. It's 51 to 44 in the worker supply. And, well, it looks like things are stabilizing. What is the worker count at? It's 30 to 36 in Targa's favor, but Tefel's making a lot of roaches now, and he has the potential to counterattack. There are definitely no roaches here for Targa. He's going to have to put down 2 spine crawlers. Wow, he's going for 3 as well. 5 spine crawlers. Targa really, really, really is afraid of this counter push coming out of here from Tefel, and perhaps he is justified in that thinking as well. Here come the roaches marching across the map. There are banelings with this as well, so we're going to have to see some pretty good control from Tefel. The spine crawlers are going to help so much for Targa. I get the feeling that 5 of them should just be fine, but well, we'll find out. There are 2 queens, 5 spine crawlers. Is he going to cancel a couple, and a whole bunch of banelings as well? And yeah, I think I'm going to find it very surprising if this gets broken here by Tefel. We don't see more roaches aside from these 2 getting streamed across the map right now fast enough to make this work, because Targa has his own roaches to defend. And, well, these 2 spine crawlers basically never saw any action. I guess they can't really consider themselves veterans, and these 4 actually at the top of the ramp. Yes, 1 spine crawler went down, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough. And the question is, you know, while all that was going on, who droned up harder? And the answer by the looks of things is they were about the same, because Tefel was slightly behind to begin with. So Targa was doing a good job. He chucked down a couple of those spine crawlers, made the first round of roaches, and then said, right, now is where I constantly drone up to make sure my opponent doesn't get ahead of me. And he's done that pretty well indeed. He's also going to be taking his 3rd base. There appears to be a round 2 coming in here, and Targa might have to start thinking about having to defend against this. But at the moment, it's actually looking okay. He's picking off a couple of straggler units. He's going to have to cancel this base. There's no 2 ways about it. There we go. It gets cancelled. But I think the spine crawlers are generally just doing an okay job here. And the 3rd base now getting put down from Tefel. So can Targa counterattack and force the 3rd base to be cancelled from Tefel? Maybe if we had some, like, speedlings to run by and pick off the 3rd, that could be possible. I'm not sure I like the weakened spine crawler being the one most exposed in the southern bit, but really that's dotting I's and crossing T's at this point. He's got some good creep spread going down. He's dropping some creep from the overlords as well to make sure he has the maneuverability with his queens that he needs. And he's going to be able to cover them off with spine crawlers as well. So solid defense coming out of there from Targa, and just managing to pick off that overlord with the queen literally as it was hugging the wall there. So, supplies. 106 for Tefel, 95 for Targa at the moment. Both sides getting their 3rd bases. This one for Targa significantly later than this one, which has just popped for Tefel. So, a little bit of an advantage there, and we can see Tefel now is ahead on workers 56 to 46. Mainly from the additional units that Targa made when that round 2 attack came in to try and force the cancel at the 3rd, and succeeding. Unlike, however, one of the other games we've seen, there is no big upgrade advantage at the moment for either player. We see +1 in Glee Reconstitution on the way for both players. Yes, it's faster for Targa, but not so much faster that it's game-endingly faster, I think. We don't have a 2 upgrade advantage or anything like that. Another Overlord's going to go down for Tefel, and that actually supply blocks him. That puts the brakes a little bit on his development here. So we'll see how well that works. I mean, one side is Glee Reconstitution and the other doesn't for maybe another 20 seconds or so. But, ooh, needs to be careful with that queen. And Tefel, well, I think he's going to get a decent concave and a decent resupply as well, so it's not going to be enough. One side has speed, the one side doesn't, true, but both... Okay, now both of them do it, and they both have +1 about to complete, so I'm not terribly worried for Tefel here. He's actually making 10 more roaches. In fact, both sides are just going into constant roach production right now. So we'll be keeping an eye on when we see infestation pits, when we see Hydralist ends, when we see additional upgrades coming in from both of them. It's where they squeeze out the minerals to do this kind of thing that makes a lot of the difference. Several of the spine crawlers are now joining in with this attack, so actually the DPS from Targa is sizable. And I'm not sure Tefel's going to be able to take this. They're at approximately equal supply right now. But, well, Good thing that Tefel pulled away from the spine crawlers. That made it a little bit even. But Targa is able to chase and pick up a few additional roaches. And right now it's a little bit of tug of war in the middle of the map. Sort of Tefel waiting until the additional roaches get there from his resupply and seeing if he can't pick more of these off. But basically they're trading quite evenly right now. Back at home, they're still doing nothing but producing roaches. You can see there are no additional buildings in either of these bases right now. Just constant aggression. And here we go. The first person to blink is going to be Tefel this time, and he's actually going for that +2 attack upgrade. So, if Targa doesn't go for his own, say in the next 30 seconds, there's going to become a decent window where Tefel might be able to take advantage. Whether he ends up doing so or not, I don't know, but it's definitely worth checking out. He's trying to get a good concave at the bottom of this ramp here, but Targa doesn't really need to engage here. Oh, he's doing a very good job of picking up these spine crawlers, though. He knows that in some future engagement in this area, not right now, he could have a little bit of difficulty trying to hold off against this. And wow, we're actually getting a full-scale engagement here. Targa carrying a 157 supply versus 140 for Tefel. I thought Tefel was just going to keep running, but it doesn't look like it. And now, actually, he's going to get a good window, a decent chunk, because +2 has not started for Targa. He is only producing more and more roaches. So, all things being equal now, in about an in-game minute and a half, we're going to see a situation where Tefel, as long as the concaves are relatively equal, is going to be able to win a head-on-head engagement with Targa, despite Targa being at 10 to 15 supply ahead right now. Targa's getting another gas as well to bolster that production. Sorry, Tefel, rather. He's a little bit gas-starved at the moment. But he did get that third base up and mining a lot sooner, don't forget. And he did have more work. It's 63 to 59, and here comes the engagement. He's actually not waiting for +2. +2's only just started for Targa, so this is basically a fair fight. But the concave, I think, is slightly better for Tefel here. And I'm not sure Targa can break through, especially with more roaches coming out from Tefel. It looks like he agrees with that assessment for now. And Tefel just trying to pull him back into an area where the concave is stronger for our green Zerg player right now. He's basically got about 30 seconds before he's got +2, and then all of a sudden, any Targa aggression really will be met with an army that's simply comfortably stronger than his. For quite a while as well, this upgrade, very, very late compared to Tefel's. Now, he has got the Hydras dead and Hydras on the way. That is going to go some way to evening out the DPS, but enough roaches are going to be here with +2 that initially they won't be equal. He's now moving out. The +2 is about to complete. And Tefel's going to try and go for a timing here to see what he can get done. Only a single spine crawler here. There will be a couple of Hydralisks. That's going to be very, very useful. But all of these guys are still only on a +1. And, well, he's defending the fourth, but is he actually going to be aggressive here? Okay, he is. He was just stalling for a little bit, just trying to work out what he wanted to do. And now he appears to be heading across the map towards Targa. And Targa has to take this pretty seriously, of course, thanks to the Overlords. He has seed this. It's +2 versus +1, but he's seen the Hydralisk, and actually Tefel's running. He's saying, no, I don't really want to deal with this right now. Instead, I'm going to build a Baneling Nest. I mean, okay, I guess we could build a Baneling Nest. And we've got Baneling Speed on the way as well for Tefel. There we go, it just got cancelled. And we've got the +1 armor coming out for him as well. So he just wants to get a larger upgrade advantage. Going out to 208 supply, cancelling a whole bunch of stuff. But he's basically maxed out on roaches. There is Roach Hydra on the other side for Targa right now. Both sides are about to max. Where are the additional bases? We've got the fourth base now up and mining for Targa. And a little bit later for Tefel. In fact, neither side really having that many drones on it right now. Number of workers looking like they're going to even out. 61 to 47. Targa feeling a little bit low in this game. He's been constantly producing nothing but units, and it means that his remax potential is going to be less than that of Tefel. That said, he's got a healthy DPS with these Hydras in here as well. +2 is now complete for him too. So it becomes a little bit more knife edge. Targa has a larger army supply because he has fewer workers. Great. So if he wins the first battle, there's potential for that to steamroll. But if he doesn't win that first battle, he doesn't have much economy with which to fall back on. And Tefel now, he's going on the offensive against his fourth base. There is absolutely no way on earth that hatchery was ever going to survive. But now Targa's trying to cut off his retreat. He's saying, okay, fine, you take that hatchery. Well, I've got a decent... Oh my god, those banelings from Tefel came in out of nowhere. And Targa, all of a sudden, is... well, he's struggling right now. He's got the Hydras, he's got the DPS. Do these guys have +1 armor yet? Yes, they do for Tefel, and they do not for Targa. So just picking apart the 4th base and running for now. And maybe Tefel could have taken a better engagement there, I don't know, but he knew his big advantage was with the banelings by the looks of things that came in from the bottom of our screens there. So there wasn't really a necessity to continue trading evenly if you can just use the army with better upgrades to defend the 4th base. So I understand the logic there. What's Targa going to do in response, though? He needs to do something. Otherwise his base is just going to constantly get denied. The creep spread, well, it's kind of stopped at his base, to be honest. Neither side really bothering to spread creep, which is less important in a ZvZ, I suppose, once you get things like Hydra Speed. We have the strongman octopus in the middle of the map here that Tefel's now rolling out above. A lot of banelings coming in for this attack. The banelings are very, very effective against the Hydralisks. I'm not sure how effective they are against the roaches, but I guess in large enough numbers, most things are effective. And here we go. That is an excellent fungal growth to start things off with. A good follow-up as well. Where are the banelings? Are they stuck behind the roaches right now? It looks like they are by the looks of things. Targa now defending for his life. Doing a pretty good job, though, of lulling Tefel into situations where, frankly, the choke points are just unfavorable. And now Tefel wants to fight in a significantly more open position. Decent fungal growth, but missing a lot of the banelings. And here they come from the side. Great fungal growth on a lot of the banelings, preventing them from coming through. And that's really what Targa needed. He's feeling a little bit more confident now. He's not too worried about an awful lot of banelings coming in. The number of roaches definitely high for Tefel here, but he hasn't got Hydralis, he hasn't got the fungal growths, and he is going to have to retreat right now. Targa handling that engagement very well indeed, patiently waiting with the energy from the infestors until he got a clear shot off on those banelings. That was truly excellent from him, and as a result, he's going to be the one going on the offensive now, but he needs to be careful not to overextend. That one baneling managing to get a good connection. And Tefel now moving back. The remaining energy on the infestor is going to become infested terrans. A lot of DPS on those infested terrans. Is it going to be enough? Though, look at this clump of roaches. Tefel now just constantly moving ahead. And Targa, well, he's getting some of his infestors picked off now. So quite clearly it was a bit of an overextension. That's 2. 3 of them gone. 4 of them gone now. And it looks like a 5th one is going to bite the dust as well. That was basically a huge part of Targa's army here. He's going to have to make a stand, and wow. Well, once again, Tefel choosing to move elsewhere. There aren't that many roaches at the front of this army. A lot of this DPS that's coming from the Hydralis are actually going down, but he's being sandwiched on 2 sides by Targa right now. This is about as good an engagement as Targa can hope for, and it looks like it's literally just enough to push Tefel back. It's very knife edge at the moment. Tefel definitely has an advantage here. He's currently on 2-2 upgrades versus 2-1, so he's an entire upgrade here, and he's managed to negate the fungal growths because the infestors were picked off. Both sides, of course, still mining from their 4th bases, and Targa finally a little bit ahead in terms of workers. I guess a lot of stuff being produced over here, and looking like a couple of units just being picked off as they did a bit of harassment over here on the 4th base. But Targa was behind in workers for quite a long time as well. If you take a look, we've got a 1,000 gas bank now for Tefel, primarily from being able to take his bases earlier so he didn't have to spend so much of his minerals. He wasn't constantly focused on remaxing. And he still got both gases there. That surprises me. I thought he was going to think about a transition, but I guess if he's just constantly making more roaches and zerglings, he doesn't have to at this point. Targa, on the other hand, he's got Hydralis, he's got infestors. These are much more gas heavy, and that's exactly why he's absolutely had to use as much gas as he can get. And here we go, another big engagement. The 4th base going down now. Tefel trying his best to break through here. Good fungal growths coming out, though, from Targa. Is he going to be able to survive? It looks like Tefel's the one whose supply is going down. He's actually down to 152 versus 195. But, and I say a big but, once again, Targa's down to 3 bases. And that's not the first time this game, so if Tefel can constantly keep him there, then he will have the time he needs to transition and get into something that can crush this army towards the late game. Looks like he's going for a lot of banelings. That's worked before. Will it work again, though? I mean, we've seen at least one occasion so far where Targa's just been so good with his fungal growths that the banelings weren't able to do much damage, but we need to see that at least once more here. Targa looking to return the favor, looking to kill off this 4th base. Is he going to be able to do it? Here come the banelings. They charge through the roaches. None of them get to the Hydralisk, but the first The first line of roaches are dead right now. 131 supply for Tefel, 164 for Targa. Targa continuing to push through here, and drones being pulled for Tefel now. If he doesn't win this battle, then he could actually go down 3-0 in the final of this go for SC2. It's potentially looking that way at the moment. 142 to 98 supply, and Targa getting a better concave. The DPS from the Hydras is huge. Yes, a lot of Banelings were there, but they mainly went off on the roaches. It doesn't look like it was quite enough. They would have killed the Hydra so quickly if they were able to connect, and now he returns the favor. The third base for Tefel is the last one alive. The fourth one is gone, and Targa is moving forward at 146 versus 78 supply, so it looks like Targa will be able to complete the 3-0 sweep here unless something amazing happens on Tefel's end right now. Really nice sustained attack. He had worse upgrades, but he had the Infestors, he had the Hydralisks. The battle that he lost back here so long ago was because the Hydras weren't that effective due to the Banelings, and because the Infestors weren't able to get their correct shots off. As soon as both of those problems were solved, Targa came back, and he came back really strong. And look, he moves away from the fourth bait, not able to kill off the workers. GG, says Tefel, and Targa, ladies and gentlemen, by a scoreline of 3-0, wins the Go for StarCraft 2 Sunday final. Congratulations to him, guys. I've been JoRoSaR. If you want to see more of these videos, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/JoRoSaR. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter at JoRoSaR as well, so go ahead and check those out, and I'll see you again very soon.